Hi everyone, it's Casey Williams. We've been really fortunate this summer to have driven many of the compact Volkswagens, starting with the base vehicle and moving up through the food chain. Back over Memorial Day weekend, we had the base Golf, had a really long drive in that. And then in July, we had the new Volkswagen Jetta, 2019 Jetta, and the GTI. Now here we are at the top of the food chain with the Golf R. And tomorrow, I've got another long trip scheduled in it, so I'm looking forward to that. Let's go take a look at the car and see why it's so special. Well, for sure, the first thing you're going to notice is the bright red paint, which I think complements this car very, very well. This is the sportiest of the Golf, and I think it looks probably the best of the Golfs as well. Some of the subtle differences you might notice between a GTI and the R. Grille's a little different. This has the R logo, doesn't have the red line like the GTI would. It does have a very aggressive front fascia, has the adaptive LED headlamps. Come around the side, you start seeing some of the other little trim differences. The side sills are just slightly different, black paint, the black mirror caps, the R logo here on the fender. Of course, the 19-inch alloy wheels. So it just gives the car a little more aggressive stance, makes it look a little bit more sporty. But when you stand back and look at the car overall, there's no mistaking that it's a Golf. It has the same two-box shape that has been a Golf trademark going all the way back to the 1970s. It's streamlined a little more, it's chiseled a little more, looks a little more expensive. Still the basic Golf that you're familiar with. Come around the back, again, the lower kind of rear diffuser look in black is for the R. The quad exhaust outlets, rear hatch. And this is really the benefit of the same boxy body style as the Golf. You've got plenty of storage back here, plenty of luggage space, back seats go down, you can get a bicycle in here, and it's really a pretty roomy, practical car for everyday use. So lift open the hood and you're going to be both delighted and maybe just slightly disappointed. So what we have is a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, delivers 292 horsepower, 280 pound-feet of torque. Now that's plenty of power for a car this size, especially given the R with its all-wheel drive, has a 6-speed manual transmission, it's just very nice. So it's enough power in a car like this. But I think that you start looking at Subaru WRXs, Subaru STIs, looking at the Ford, Ford RS, and I think you want something closer to 350 horsepower to really get excited. The plus side of this engine though is you get 21 miles per gallon in the city, 29 miles per gallon on the highway. So you get pretty decent gas mileage for a car with that much power and all-wheel drive. What I've really come to appreciate this summer, having driven several of the compact Volkswagens over long distances, is the way the interiors are set up. They really are configured for long distance driving and to keep you comfortable and keep you very, very well entertained as well. The seats in this car, this is the R edition, so they've got really deep bolsters in, they hold you in, and if you want to drive the car really hard, you can. But they're not so bone crushing that you're miserable in them on a long drive. They're very nice. And this one has electric seat bolsters or lumbar support down below, so you can adjust that. Again, just works you over as you're driving. Very nice. I like the control layout too. This has Volkswagen's digital cockpit, so it's got a flat screen here in the instrument cluster. Nice analog gauges, but it's actually just a digital flat screen. And you can adjust the readouts, so you can have nav up here, the radio, the trip computer, all that stuff, whichever you want. I like their touch screen a lot. I think it works very nice. It's all touch sensitive, swipe sensitive, so you can here and go through the station list and scroll through very nicely if I want to. Go back. There's XM, all the presets are here. And what I think, so that works out really well. Volume knob, tuning knob, and again, it just really kind of proves what I say in a lot of the other videos. It's nice to have all the touchscreen. This also has voice controls, but gosh darn it, just give me the volume knob and the tuning knob too, so you can scroll through that very easy. Any way you want to do it, you've got it. Back to FM. Another cool little thing I just noticed a little while ago, press the station list, you can scroll through that way, or you can even tune it. And so you've got an old school dial down here that you can click through or tune it that way. So I think that's really cool. I just think they do a nice job with it. It's got XM satellite radio, like I said, Bluetooth, USB imports, and it's got the Fender audio system. Volkswagen seems to be phasing out Fender and instead going to Beats. I like the Fender system a little better. I just think it's crisp. I think it's very clear and it's just very nice. Kind of gives you that real concert experience. Down below, dual zone automatic climate control. The mode selector down here. So the R does have an adaptive suspension system on it. You can adjust it from comfort, normal, and race on here. The steering can also be adjusted from a little bit lighter to firmer, and the throttle can be adjusted to be a little more sensitive. So you can, again, select the different modes from comfort, normal, race, or you can custom. So if you want, a little more compliant suspension with stiffer steering, you can select that as well. Do it however you want to do it. And then on the safety front, car has quite a bit of safety equipment. It's got adaptive cruise control, forward collision alert system with brake mitigation as well, lane keep assist, blind spot warning, pretty much the full array of the safety systems. So overall, I just think it's a really nice car. And beyond all the stuff on it that I've talked about so far, at the end of the day, it's still a Volkswagen Golf. You can still get 4 people in here relatively comfortable. You can put your kid in the back. You can put the back seats down. It's just a very practical car for everyday use. So 292 horsepower doesn't sound like a lot until you put it into a compact car and add all-wheel drive and a 6-speed manual transmission. I think that's enough power for just about anybody. Again, it's not a Ford Focus RS, it's not a WRX STI, but in a car like this, I think it's plenty of power, and it helps balance with the gas mileage. So I think that's all great. I like the adaptive suspension. I like that you can tune it to have a little more comfortable ride. And Volkswagen does a pretty good job of soaking up bumps anyway, in rough pavement. But you get a little more comfortable ride on the highway or even in town if you want. But if you want to go play with the car or go find a curvy road, you can put it in sport mode or put it in track mode, and it'll stiffen it right up. And the same with the steering. Right now I've got it in comfort mode. It's pretty comfortable. It's not too aggressive. But again, if you want to go play on the track, you can stiffen up the steering. You make the throttle more responsive. I think that's good. But what I think, tomorrow I've got to drive from Indianapolis to Lexington, Kentucky and back. And I think what I'll appreciate, like I have in the other Volkswagens this summer, I like the flat screen dash. You can reconfigure it. I think it works very nice, very visible. But the infotainment controls, just very easy to use. You can reach down the highway, you can change the volume, you can change the tuning, you can scroll through it in traffic if you want. You don't have to swipe it if you don't want to. You can if you want, that's nice. But it just makes it very easy to do what you want. The climate control, 90-degree days, just ice cold inside the cabin, even sitting in traffic, which, a lot of compact cars, they're not. They work okay when you're moving, but sitting in traffic, the air conditioner starts getting a little stuffy. Volkswagen does a great job with that. But I just think, the overall feel of this car, the seats are nice, dash panel, everything's padded. The back doors, they're still hard plastic like you might expect. But it's just a car that you can just feel very comfortable in. You can take long drives. It's just not tiring to drive the car. And I think it's really rare in a compact car to be able to take it on long drives. And especially with, the engine in this, you can sit in a left-hand lane, drive whatever speed you want to drive, legal or not legal, and plenty of power in reserve. And the car has the brakes, the chassis, the steering, everything to back that up. So again, I just find it a very enjoyable car to drive on long trips and can't really wait to get on the road tomorrow. I've truly enjoyed all of the compact Volkswagens we've had this summer. I was perfectly content with the base Golf. I drove from Indianapolis to Illinois and back, and then up to northern Indiana and back all in one weekend. It was perfectly fine for me. And then we had the Jetta, and I drove that from Indianapolis over to Pennsylvania and back again. Long hours on the road, very nice car. GTI just made it better with a little bit more power. But I'll tell you, I think the R is absolutely my favorite. It's got the most power, it's got all-wheel drive, it's got the most styling changes on the outside, and it just feels very special. But all that comes at a cost. This one, as equipped, $40,635. For a Volkswagen, compact Volkswagen, starts to seem like a lot of money. But if you start comparing this to other cars in this class, or other cars this size that have the feature set and power of this car, it seems very competitive from there. Well, next week we'll have another fun car. Until then, storm forward.